Hello, everyone, and welcome to Prop Live in the shop, or rather, we are in my office. Hooray! This is where I do all of the business stuff and all the computer things, including editing episodes of Prop Live, or no, Prop Shop. That's right. If you guys check, and of course, I will have a link in the description. I did a live stream of me filming an episode of Prop Shop, and that was earlier this week. And that episode is archived on my YouTube channel. You can go watch that. The process of me filming how I do instructional content on Prop Shop. And then I have all of that footage on my hard drive here, and I'm going to edit all of it down to a final episode. And that's what we're here to do today. We are here to show you guys live and in person how I do all of the editing on my old computer here. So we've got the live stream going. People who are chiming or tuning in while I'm doing this. There is the Q&A app running. So if you want to ask me any questions, questions about making videos or editing videos, throw them my way and I'll answer them as they come in. Like Kumo wants to know, hi Bill, how are you doing? I'm doing great. I am working my way towards becoming fully caffeinated this morning. It's a Saturday morning. I just had a bagel and 2 cups of coffee, and then I'm topping it off with this double shot espresso. So thank you, Kumo. I'm doing great. All right. Cool. So here we go. Let's get started. I'm gonna swap my view over to what I work with. Right there. All right. This is Adobe Premiere. I do all of my editing in Adobe Premiere. It's not free. Good free video editing software is hard to come by. There is something called HitFilm Express that actually I should take a note. I will link to that in the description. If you look up HitFilm, I believe it's called. Sorry, I got my notebook here. HitFilm. I think the Express version is either free or fairly cheap. I haven't used it, but I've heard it's pretty good. I use Adobe Premiere. I use the entire Adobe thing, the Adobe Creative Cloud. So I pay for the whole schmear, the whole freaking thing. So first thing I'm going to do is dump in all my footage. This is all the footage that we recorded. Oops, that we recorded. Oh, there it goes. When yep, my computer's yelling at me on the last live episode. So it's a whole bunch of small clips of me building things, and it's a big clip of me. I don't know why that got dumped in there. Let's see here. All right, so here we go. These are all the video clips that we have of me building stuff. There's an audio track because I recorded my audio separately. The first thing I want to do is grab the talking part, this guy here, which is the one that's 10 minutes long. There it is. So this is me chatting at the camera. Yay.
So to do so, I like...
that needs to get combined with my audio track. So you might be able to hear in the background just sort of faintly.
To use, again, a really nice sharp...
So that's the audio from my camera, and then this is the audio that I recorded with my separate audio device.
Last time we did a little bit on, what did we do?
It's a little better. I have a lavalier mic. Again, in the previous filming episode, I go over all the gear that I use. Combining them is really easy. You select the one clip, you select the other, right-click, and go to merge clips. I don't know if that actually showed up in the thing. But you right-click on it, go to Merge Clips, and you hit OK, and it will take those 2 clips and sync the audio, which is really handy, like so. And I got a new clip right here. It says Merged, and then this gets dragged onto the timeline. Ta-da!
Like maker, costume maker.
There we go. I can turn that down a little bit so it doesn't blow me out. And then I can go in. I don't know what I did to show that little thing there. There's a lot about Premiere I still don't know, and sometimes I click on like stuff and it does things. The one thing I do want to do is to change the label on this so that it's a different color. Let's make it mango, like that, because I'm going to put other video clips in here and I want to differentiate them. If I want to change the audio levels on this, I do it now before it gets all cut up. And what I'm looking for is where the audio bounces around over here while I'm talking. I want to make sure it's high enough without peaking, so I can actually turn it up a little bit.
Check those out if you want to up your foam fabrication game for your.
But it's not gonna clip. Oh, I accidentally dragged everything into the timeline. I'm gonna delete all these. Whoops, delete. That's better. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes of footage, and that's gonna get cut down a lot because this part will get trimmed a whole bunch.
Proper costume making.
So there's me talking.
You carve into your foam armor.
And
cool and really intricate.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I could turn it up a little bit.
For example,
I would want, when I'm recording the audio, for these peaks to be almost topped out, but not quite. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at that. So it's just going to be like that. Then I trim this to me where I start talking. And that's where I get started. I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts when I can. So V will let me, or C will cut, so I can cut it up. So you'll see me doing that a lot. Undo, undo, undo. And then C goes back to, or V goes back to being able to change the clip like that. Let's see here. Oh, the next thing I need, there's a few more things I need to dump into here, some more files. I have a bunch of stock files that I use. So video intro type stuff. Let's see here. Stock video. I have my intro, so prop shop. I have a file that I add there. Where is it? There it is. So this, nope. Yep, there it is. Yay! So there's my intro that gets dropped in there, and that gets added. And I leave the if you make your audio channel smaller like that, you don't see the waveform. I like to be able to see that because I use the audio to cut more than anything else. I also split this and I unlink this so that I can move this down and move this video so it overlaps a little bit, and then do my default. So Control or Apple Command, whatever, D gives me my default transition.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Just like that. And now I have an intro.
Hey everybody,
Ta-da! And then I hit save because I gotta keep saving when you're working on this sort of stuff. The other thing I need is my lower third. I'll drag that clip in here. There it is. And that's just my name pops out, me, my little doodad, and then it flies away. And that gets put over my face so that my little doodad pops out. Now, lower thirds are cool. It's a good way to make your videos look a little more professional. This is one that I custom made myself, but I learned it. In fact, I need to shout out to, let me swap this over here to my, how do I do this? All right. To this right here. So the guys over at Film Riot are awesome. They have a lower thirds pack. These are Adobe After Effects files that you can output for your videos. And these are a bunch of basic lower thirds where you just replace the text with like your name and it does all the animation and everything for you. And I use this for a long time, but then I kind of copied how theirs worked and made my own custom one. Film Riot, a lot of the editing, a lot of the filming stuff that I've learned over the years has been from watching Film Riot. Those guys are awesome. I'll have a link to their show down in the description. All right. Change my screen share back to my work. There I am. Cool. So already I have this cool intro thing going, and it swaps in, and there's me, and there's my little lower third, and I'm good to go. And now what I'll usually do is go in and start cutting through the video episode, cutting through the parts where I'm talking, and so that hopefully it makes sense. And again, like I said, I use the audio cues more than most stuff. So where there's a dip down here, like I'm pretty sure in here there's either either a pause or there is a break. Like here I'm going, good, I forgot the word. So I know I can cut in right there, but visually I can see where the audio breaks. But other than that, I just kind of watch the footage and cut out the parts that don't matter or don't work.
Right. Continuing our trend.
All right. And also I'm keeping an eye on the audio. Should be fine, but I'm keeping an eye on the audio, making sure it's not too heavy. And then I just kind of watch myself, which is the weird part. I convinced myself that that's my twin brother up there. That's not really me. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Prop Shop again. I'm Bill, prop maker, costume maker, your guide to making things out of EVA foam.
This is kind of fun. In the background in the video, you can see the live stream from last time.
That's right. We're continuing our trend of doing foam fabrication tips. Last time we did a little bit on, what did we do last time?
This is where I forgot.
Last time we did a little bit on...
and I also scrubbed through using the arrows. And I'll cut that. And let's see.
Remember last time when we did a thing? What was that?
Yeah. Last time. So I cut before. Cut before that. And then I just take this video clip and drag it over there. So now there's a jump there, but it should be fine.
Last time we did
right here.
Tips. Last time we did a little.
Not bad. That works for me. Cool.
A little bit on bevel, and the time before we did a little bit more on doing really cool foam edges.
Cut out the dead air there. Like that.
Edges. Both of those videos are linked right here, so feel free to go check those out if you want to up your.
That reminds me that I need to dump those videos in here, so I go back to my hard drive and I go find those videos, C, D, E, F, foam tips, and add foam ridges to the thing, and then add foam bevels. Like that. So I dragged both of those episodes that I previously did in, and what I'll do is I'll cut out like a couple seconds of that here, and I can turn the visual thing off there, like that. And also this video needs to be smaller because I want it to be overlaid. So right now they're layered on top of one another, but I go to effect controls, go to motion, scale, let's say 25%, boop, and then move it using the position controls over there and up like that. Then I can even copy the motion. If I grab motion at control or command C, get my other video that I want in. Let's see here. Grab some of that. And you do your mark in and mark out to grab a little piece of your content. You can drag it around if you want to, but you basically just go to an interesting part, maybe not right in the middle of a transition, go a couple seconds later, and then I can grab just the video and line that up. And again, if I select that and hit Control V, it gets layered on top of or underneath at least that other video that I did. Undo, and then if I go to my effect controls for that one, make sure I have it selected down here, I can move it down, and there we go. So now when I'm playing it, I go
right here.
Boop!
Feel free
Yay!
to check those out if you want to up your.
And then I'll cut those out.
Your prop and costume making.
Cut that right there, and then drag these so that they end right there. Cut this guy and move it over, and now it looks like this.
Here, so feel free to go check those out if you want to up your foam fabrication game for your prop and costume making. Today we're gonna go.
Perfect. Hit Control S to save it.
Talk about the
Move on with our
all
lives.
those little lines and curves that you carve into your foam armor to make them look cool and really intricate.
Cool. Big old chunk of dead air there. I'll cut out. Move it over.
Okay, for example, we have some of those lines and stuff on my Lord Shaxx costume right here.
So I shot some pre-roll. Let's see, or B-roll. Move this over like that.
And all of these little design elements are very easy to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it.
Like so. So this part needs some Shaxx armor, and I believe I shot that right here. Yes, I did. Let's see here. Yeah. I'll get both of those. So that this is all the stuff that I filmed in the last episode. You guys can go check that video out. Links in the description. Maybe go backwards. And again, just drag the video out. I don't need all that.
Intricate. For example, we have some of those lines and stuff on my Lord Shaxx costume right here, and all of these.
That's enough of that, and then I believe I got some of the leg piece. There it is. Just like that. Grab just a couple seconds of that, like that. Drag it out, like that. So now it goes.
Some of those lines and stuff on my Lord Shaxx costume right here, and all of these little design elements are very easy
cool.
to do.
And then I want to do a transition between them. So I take both of those clips I just did. Those are full frame. They cover the whole thing. Drag it down into the video. And this is where having those different colors makes sense. Earlier, I made the main talking part all mango colored. Now I can grab these two and hit Command D to do transitions. By the way, those are in effects. We have video transitions, dissolve, and this is dip to white. And I've made that, if you right click on it, you can say select as default transition. And you can also go in your preferences and set the duration of that. The default is far too long. I wanted it to be really quick. But when I hit Command D, it does this.
Some of those
boop,
lines
between the two clips that I have. So now it goes,
some of those
boop,
lines and stuff on
shows
Lord
these two
Shaxx
clips,
right here.
that
All of
one,
these little
cut to
design
that one,
elements
and
are
then
very
boop,
easy to
back to my face. And that is it. I just rinse and repeat. Do that over and over again, cutting little clips in here and there. There we go.
For all of these sorts,
let's see here.
Do it. For all of these sorts of cuts and curves and the tool.
That was an example of me ad-libbing and not using the first option. I'll tell you what, there's nothing quite so humbling as watching yourself talk at a camera.
Do it. The tools for these are extremely simple and cheap. Really, you just need.
I'm wondering if I got any B-roll of tools. Did I do that? I did. Like that. Like that. Some tools.
Footage. These are extremely simple and cheap. Really, you just need some sharp knives. And if you can help it, either get a whole bunch of replacement blades for those knives, or what I like to do is to use a sharpener so that your sharpener.
I can tell when I'm going to screw up. I see the audio sort of drifting off as I'm going, Or there we go. So I have to find or.
Do is to use for those knives, or
do that. Put those together, and now we go.
Knives, or
and once these two clips are separate, I can drag this guy down and do my my transitions.
These are
like that. Cool. Works for me.
Those knives, or what I like to do is use a sharpener so that.
I wonder if I have sharpener footage. I do. Oh, I'm so good. Let's do this here. There's a little bit of WD-40 action. There's a little bit of sharpening action.
These are images he needs for his books.
I want there. Sharpen, sharpen, sharpen. Good enough. Like that. And I'm learning too as I edit, like as I get better at editing, the more I do it, I'm learning that less is more when it comes to like B-roll clips.
Get a whole bunch of replacement.
And I want this to transition on the ore. Actually, maybe a little bit earlier.
Or what I like to do is use a sharpener so that as soon as the knife is dull, I can sharpen it up again and continue cutting.
And cut. And now I can drop these down to my transitions and save. Usually after I add transitions, I remember to save. It's like my own my own cue.
Use a sharpener so that as soon as the knife.
Very nice. Onward. And here we go. That goes together there.
Cutting. The first thing you want to do is to draw out your designs on your foam.
Did I get footage of that? Nope. All right.
I'm not going to do whatever thing you're trying to replicate for your armor or for your prop making. Just draw it out right on your foam. All of this is going to get painted later, so it doesn't matter if you can still see the ink on there or the marker. It'll be just fine.
All right.
Then
do that. This is most of the editing.
Then once you have
is me just cutting out.
Then once you have
cutting out parts where I am not talking.
your design laid out, you can cut your piece out normally the way you would do it with a knife or a saw, like I've shown you before.
So cut out normally. That's the clip I have open now. Just need a couple of seconds of me doing that. Let's get this. Just a couple seconds of that, and then finish the cut, Bill, with your hand right into the camera. Nicely done, Bill. That's very good.
I'm still impressed that you freehand this stuff.
Let's just grab that. Where I cut it apart. Just like that. All right. And then I'll drag those clips into the timeline like this, and then I'll reposition them.
Cut your piece out normally the way you would do it with a knife or a saw, like I've shown you before. However, some of these elements
works for me. I'm trying to get into a very much a show not tell mentality when it comes to my videos.
This particular design are a little bit more complicated. For example, this piece on the side.
So I know here I'm going to be.
For example, this piece on the side here has some sort of.
Yeah. So there's a specific thing that I'm referencing, so I need to go find that clip. If I just double click them over here, by the way, that's how they show up. Yeah. Let's get that footage right there.
They're not delicious.
I always enjoy the conversations I'm having in the background of this B-roll with my wife. There we go. Grab that. Another good shot of the back of my hand. Ooh, that's better. I tell you, when you're filming, having more footage than you need makes the editor happy. And since I'm the editor and the cinematographer, I can.
A little bit more complicated. For example.
There we go. And I have a specific thing I want to show here. Yeah.
In the future is one of those monitors that can face you, so it kind of like plugs in your camera, face you. So
that's good there. This might take up a little more time than I think I might need. There we go. Do that. right there. And then
that will save Bill some pain later. Just being able to see his shots without having to go over the camera and look at it.
oh, refocus, I think. Very good, Bill. This is me praising myself in the past. Good job, Bill. Refocusing. And we'll do that.
There we go.
And there we go. Now that all these clips are in the timeline, I can kind of cut them down to what I need for the episode. Cool. Just got a text message from April Ness. We're going to be live streaming with her later. Okay. Boop. All right, let's go here.
On this particular design are a little bit more complicated.
For example, see here.
For example, this piece on the side here has some sort of inlay cuts that you gotta cut.
It's not really inlay cuts, but whatever.
Cut out a nice clean 90-degree angle. So to do so, I like to.
I might move these all over.
Use again a really nice sharp knife and cut from the corner straight down into the mat.
I don't remember. It's hard. I shot this like 4 days ago. Usually I edit these right away, and I don't remember. I remember what I said and when I said it.
This for the sort of side parts, but the.
Well, let's move this then.
To do so, I like to use again a really nice.
All right, let's do this here like this.
Nice sharp knife and cut from the corner straight down into the mat. I do this for the sort of side parts, but the bit on the inside.
Yeah, let's move that, cut that away. Actually, now that I've done more cuts, I can tidy this bit up right here. I try to tidy up everything as I go. There we go. This can go down in there too. Happy with that.
Side parts, but the bit on the inside of the foam there, you've got to be a little bit careful because it's easy to overcut and damage the piece of foam that you want to keep.
There we go. And move that over like that. All right.
To keep. So I take the knife and I push it straight down.
Okay, this is where I want to be. Let's overlap that a little bit.
Want to keep. So I take the knife and I push it straight down, trying to make sure it goes down at a perpendicular angle to.
And I know I have a little more room to play with this footage, so I'm going to extend that a little bit.
Down at a perpendicular angle to your foam, and then I draw it through the foam. And when I get to the edge, I like to kind of saw it a little bit and meet up with it.
I have a little more, again, I have a little more room to play since I have so much extra footage.
When I get to the edge, I like to kind of saw it a little bit and meet up with that edge that I cut earlier.
Extend that a little bit.
And then I draw it through.
Pull that back a little bit.
Foam. And then I draw it through the foam. And when I get to the edge, I like to kind of saw it a little bit and meet up with that edge that I cut.
Oops. Let's see here. There we go. Before it got all janky.
Trying to make sure it goes down at a perpendicular angle to your foam. And then I draw it through the foam.
That's kind of a weird cut. Kind of a weird cut there. Let's just give it a little bit of a break there. All right.
Push it straight down, trying to make sure it goes down at a perpendicular angle to your foam. And then I draw it through the foam. And when I get to the edge, I like to kind of saw it a little bit and meet up with that edge that I cut earlier.
Wondering if I filmed a little bit of an example. Yeah, I did. Let's add that. Nice.
And meet up with that edge that I cut earlier.
There we go.
Out earlier. Like most things, this requires a whole lot of practice before you really
Cool.
get good at it. But it's worth it to put in the time because you can get some cuts that look really nice and even look kind of machined.
There we go. That whole section is done. These can get moved down, and that I put on my transitions like that. Cool. All right, onward. We have edited 2.5 minutes of footage. Holy crap. Almost probably halfway done. Let's see. Actually, I do have a lot of clips over here still to work with.
A lot of
All right, that goes like this.
machine. A lot of the interior designs for your foam can be done the same way. You just,
I think I skipped that whole part.
again, I like to always start at a corner.
I know I need to start there.
Interior designs for your foam can be done the same way. You just
I need to end at way.
done the same way.
And this is where I have to kind of cut in between the middle of my words. Let's see how well this works.
Same way. I like to always start at a corner and foam can be done the same way.
That's kind of janky. I might have to. You should pause after you talk. But I didn't. I just kept talking.
I like to always.
I could actually do. Let's see if this works. If I hold down Command and click on the audio, I can add some points to change the temperature volume, so it's the audio fades out.
I like to.
That's not bad.
Same way. I like to always start at
That'll do it.
a corner and cut away from it.
And here's the footage for that. Burp, burp.
Way. I like to always start at a corner and cut away from it. That way I can push the tip of the blade into the foam, get a nice sharp corner. Then I just work my way around again.
Okay, any footage of me working my way around?
That hoodie he's wearing.
Burp.
That hoodie he's wearing used to be like
Whoops. That's good.
Again, starting at the corner and pulling into the edge.
Yes, way to show. Way to put my hand into the camera. Fantastic. All right, let's see how that looks.
Around again, starting at the corner and pulling into the edge.
Let's see here. Burp.
There are
Really short thing. Let's see how much I talk about
this
that.
particular piece, I'm only scoring it. I don't necessarily have to cut all the way through. I just go around the.
Go around. Another thing like that.
It's usually when
There we go. Add that.
All the way through. I just go around the perimeter, cutting out the edge. In this case, since I just scored it, I can hit it with a heat gun, and those edges open up, showing a really cool design below.
All right, need some heat gun footage, which I think is the next clip. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's right. When I was filming this, I didn't hit record, so this is me heat gunning it already done.
Totally works.
There we go.
Up, showing a really cool design below. Now,
There we go. Do this, and I think I have more footage there.
now sometimes you don't
Yeah. All right.
get those corners perfectly. There might be a little bit of material left over. Not a problem. Just take a.
Oh, I need to show that there's material left over, and I did this on purpose. I remember.
I'm not sure. to
like that.
Perfectly. There might be a little bit of material left over. Not a problem. Just take a really sharp little knife and trim that piece up a bit, clean it up, hit it with the heat gun again, and voila, you are all done.
Perfect. Let's grab that footage of me cutting it.
Someone on the show again. We haven't had them on in a while. On Prop Live.
Perfect. Let's do that. Add that to the thing.
Piece up a bit, clean it up, hit it with the heat gun, and knife, and trim that piece up a bit, clean it up, hit it with the heat gun again, and voila.
Cool. All right, let's tidy up all of this stuff here. That goes in. That goes to go in like that. Boop, boop. Hey, folks, too, while you're watching live, I have the Q&A app running. So if you have any questions about video or video editing or anything, then you can ask a question and I'll answer it. If you guys are watching this archived and you've made it this far, at the end of the episode, at the end of this, I'll show you how I export. I'll show you how all of that stuff gets done too. So it's not, this is just the bulk of the editing, which is
open up, showing a really,
I'm sure, not the most exciting part of it. This is me just cutting and adding stuff in for posterity. And there we go.
and voila.
All right. Voila. You were right, Bill. Very good. I know I can cut this whole chunk out because there's no audio. Like this. Throw that together.
These types of cuts and scoring can be done in a whole bunch of different designs. You can do rounded edges, you can connect little pieces, you can get really, really intricate with this sort of work. Again, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it.
And I think I have footage of me doing that poorly with my hand in the way. Come on. This footage is unusable. It's just the back of my hand. So I'm just not going to use it. Do I have footage of me? Yeah, I do. That's a lot to use. Let's see what I'll actually need. Let's drag it down here.
You can do rounded edges. You can connect little pieces. You can get really, really...
Let's do a lot less than that.
A bunch of different designs. You can do rounded edges. You can connect little pieces. You can get really, really intricate with this.
Perfect. Let's just do that. Let's see, Buddha Cow Brittany asked a question. Buddha Cat is wondering why it's not his lunchtime. He's got another hour and a half until lunchtime. It's Brittany, my wife, upstairs, hanging out with the cats.
Little pieces. You can get really, really intricate with this sort of work. Again, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Now, you can, of course, do these sort of interior cuts all the way through your foam. Again, the big thing to remember here is you want to make sure that you cut at a perpendicular angle to the foam surface, unless, of course, you want to have like an interior bevel. Now, if you don't do that, if you want nice straight cuts and you kind of go a little crazy and the blade wanders a bit as you cut it out, when you pull that piece out, you'll see that the inside is a little bit mangled. Since you can't see in there when you're...
All right. I do have footage of me doing it poorly, I think. Yeah. That's good.
Wanders a bit and the blade wanders a bit as you cut it out. When you pull...
And then maybe some of me cutting it out. Let's do this.
Oh, just don't hurt yourself.
This, I believe I was hugging the camera during this.
Crazy, and the blade wanders a bit as you cut it out. When you pull that piece out, you'll see that the inside is a little bit...
And then I think I cut it out and show that off. Good. There we go. All right.
It is a little bit mangled. Since you can't see in there when you're cutting it, it's easy to...
That'll do the trick. Let's see here. Kumo wants to know, not editing related, have you ever used E6000 glue? Not really. I like my barge. I like my contact cement. If you use this-to-that.com, and I'll link to this in the show notes, this-to-that.com. You pick two materials and it tells you what sort of adhesive you should use. E6000 comes up pretty regularly. It's a good glue. So yeah, worth checking out. All right, onward.
Sort of not get a couple passes to line up, kind of mangle the bit on the inside. Again, just make sure that blade is nice and perpendicular, cut really slowly, and
slowly.
And you'll be making nice clean cuts in no time.
Cut that, move it over like that, delete that. I do think I have an example of me doing it correctly. Yeah, I do. Oh, do I talk about this blade?
Some of these interior cuts.
I do talk about that knife, don't I? Let's do this. Burp. Burp. Go back. Using them arrow keys. Yeah. All right. Let's see here.
That blade is nice and perpendicular, cut really slowly, and you'll be making nice clean cuts in no time.
Do I have any more? No. Now it's time to use this knife. Show off the knife. Excuse me. I'm all burpy with this.
For some of these interior cuts, if they are curved, I like to use a curved cutting.
Go.
Curved cutting blade. Poke it all the way through.
Go to poke it. Poke. That's kind of taking up a lot of time. A second is a really long time in video editing. Oh, that's good. Right like that. Burp. Don't need much footage of me fumbling. Let's do that. And basically, you grab tiny parts of your clips up here, and then you kind of edit them down at the timeline. You just grab a bit of it. Yeah, let's see here. Do I show me cutting? Let's scrub through this. Yeah.
It's one of those nice.
Cool. Let's grab that. I think I get to the end. There we go.
Convex or concave.
There we go. Now I can trim all this down a bit.
Cutting blade, poke it all the way through, again, keeping it nice and perpendicular, and then sort of saw your way around the corner very slowly, but it'll get the job done if you take your time and you...
There's that. Can I edit? Yeah, let's tidy this up a little bit. It's just my own personal dissatisfaction in having these guys float up here. Let's do that. Burp, burp. Let's do that. Actually, let's move that over. There we go. Like that, like that.
Perpendicular, cut really slowly, and you'll be...
All right. Move through this. And then I think I have a clip of this all done. And I can show off how nice it looks.
And all these tiny blades and
Like that. And then show the back of it like that and show me flipping it over.
that looks perfect.
There we go.
Then you can have nice, clean interior cuts.
And move all these to right there. All right, now this is a really long sequence of edits that I made, so I like to go back and watch that in real time to make sure it all makes sense. Another question from Kumo, watching live there. What kind of glue do you use for resin props? Also, Barge, super glue? Super glue is really good for urethane resin. Also, a 5-minute epoxy is really, really good. If it's small pieces and I need it to be done pretty quickly, I usually use super glue. All right, let's watch this here.
Curve cutting blade, poke it all the way through, again, keeping it nice and perpendicular, and then sort of saw your way around the corner very slowly, but it'll get the job done. If you take your time and use the right tools, then you can have nice, clean interior cuts.
Hey, that all looks pretty good. Let's do this. Need to remember to add the transition at the end of it.
Now,
I think I can do that. Usually that'll add a transition to the end. No, it didn't. All right, cool.
Have nice, clean interior cuts. Now, once you have cut out a small piece like this, you may or may not want it to just be removed. For example, on my Shaq's armor, those side panels there.
Oh, let's go find Shaq's here and find.
This is so exciting. So exciting.
Let's do
This
this.
is so exciting.
That's the part I need.
There, I cut them out, push them in a little bit. Ooh. For example, on my Shaq's armor, those side panels there, I cut them out, push them in a little bit, and then glue them in place that way. You can place that way.
Do I talk about that more? I don't know. I may have to add more footage there. We'll see. I'll have to go back and find that other clip. Where was I? I was at 2965. 29. What? That doesn't make any sense. This clip. Who are you? Who are you? 2954. That's where I was. What's the next one? What do I have next? Oh, cool. All right. This is me. So much of editing yourself is like, I don't remember what I said there.
Just a little bit of depth to that way. This is a really great way to add just a little bit of depth to the piece of armor that you're making. And it's really quick. Again, you want to cut it out, making sure that those edges are nice and perpendicular. And then you just kind of push it in.
All right, push it in. Let's do that.
Someone's wondering in the chat.
There's that. Push it in.
And you just kind of push it in to the depth that you want. And then I like to the depth that you want. And then I like to hot glue it.
Go to hot glue it. There's some good hot gluing footage.
Live stream of you editing the video together.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I live stream me editing the video together? How about that?
That you want. And then I like to hot glue it from the back, and nobody is the wiser.
Then I should probably show it off. Burp.
Stream of how Bill edits. He's really good at it.
Burp. I'm okay. I'm okay at it, Britt.
You've got a really cool looking little design element on your piece. Cool looking little design element on your piece.
Actually, I don't need to necessarily trim that bit out. I'm learning more and more too. You can have like your edits, your video go like over a piece of audio.
I did something really similar.
Just like that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Armor, those side panels there, I cut them out, push them in a little.
Okay. Yes, I did. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Really similar with my Mass Effect armor years ago, except instead of it being instead of it having except
There we go. Where did I screw up? Let's find out.
Effect armor years ago, except it's
Right there. Boop, like that.
Years ago, except that
That's me just editing out a chunk that I swear I screwed up. Kumo also wants to know, let's see, are you editing your next video? Because that is kind of interesting. Yes, I am. This video will go up on Monday, which is in 2 days. We filmed it on Wednesday live. There's a link to that one in the description, and this is me editing that one. Enjoy. All right.
armor years ago, except that instead of having a nice sharp edge around that indent, it kind of just looked like it was dented in.
So now I need an example of my Mass Effect armor, which I have, I think. Let's see here. Yeah.
For other people's questions, it's not like Twitch chat. The chat we're using.
My cool new slider.
It kind of just looked like it was dented in. What I did for that was, first, I cut out the piece that would go.
Let's see, 2955, I think. So let's go find that. 2955, 2956. There we go. That's the clip I need.
Piece that would go into the hole. I traced.
Tracing?
Oh.
In a print book, you want to make sure you have all the.
All right, traced the thing.
The hole. I traced out my design and then I enlarged it just a little.
Right. Enlarging. There we go.
Book and the fonts you use in the book.
There's that.
Traced out my design and then I enlarged it just a little bit. And then I trimmed it out using sort of like an interior bevel cut.
Interior bevel cut. Let's find that. What a mess. It's hideous.
Me hugging the camera.
There we go. Show that and then probably show it all cut out at the end. There it is.
Yeah,
There that is. Cool. It's all coming back to me now.
I trimmed it out using sort of like an interior bevel cut. Excuse me.
I can cut that out. Move that over.
Interior bevel cut. It doesn't need to be really pretty. The inner surface is going to be hidden. I just made sure there was some.
Cut that.
The inner surface is going to be hidden.
And there we go.
Hidden. I just made sure there was some extra room in there for it to get mashed into the hole we're going to make later on.
I say later on a lot.
This piece
There we go.
to the hole we're going to make later on. This piece that got cut out got cleaned up a little bit, and then I went and cut the hole for it.
There we go.
Hole for it. What you end up with is a piece that's a.
All right. I think I have footage of me cutting the hole for it. Yep. Do I have better not my hand in the view? Yeah, let's do that. Burp. There we go. Cut the hole for it.
Got cleaned up a little bit, and then I went and cut the hole for it. What do you?
There we go. Let's tidy all this up a little bit here. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that and that.
Cut out, got cleaned up a little bit, and then I went and cut the hole for it. What do you end up
Perfect. All right, let's keep moving.
with is a piece that's a little bit too big that you can mash into that hole.
Do I have footage of me mashing?
But and what ends up happening is that piece gets
do this.
Too big that you can mash into that hole, and when
This is a case where I have to cut myself off mid-sentence and make a little...
mash into that, and when ends up...
Oops, I cut too much. There we go.
Into that hole, and when ends up...
Yeah, I gotta cut a little bit more. This is... That...
and when ends up...
It's a bit... There's like a weird... Sometimes you get a weird audio glitch, so I'm trying to like cut... I said the word and, so I'm trying to blend between those.
And when ends... and when ends...
Ugh, poorly. Poorly. Yep, there we go. Text message.
And when ends...
This is tricky. This is like when you screw up when you're filming, you got to save yourself the heartache or the headache of having to fix it later on.
And when it... and when...
Let's do this.
and when ends up and when ends up
There we go.
hole and when ends
So I just sort of faded the audio in and out a bit, so it wasn't so sharp when it made the transition there. Okay.
that hole and what ends up happening is that piece gets folded in a little bit. You have a nice little indent.
I don't think I talked about glue.
Of course,
I should have talked about glue. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
of course, once it looks good, you can go ahead and glue it.
I did talk about glue. So good.
Diablo characters.
There's some glue on that part. That's the top of my head. Very good. Where's the other part? There we go. There's that.
Audio funny to make sure that
There's that part. Like that. And then I gotta wait. So there's gotta be almost to the end here. There it is.
Okay. You'd actually come.
That goes there.
if I have to film it myself, it's really kind of.
There we go. Now I have some room to play with all of that stuff. And then maybe a little bit of me showing off it being all done. Do I do that? No. Great, Bill. Great filming. So much of editing is yelling at yourself, for sure. All right.
Good. You can go ahead and glue it in. For this particular one, I used barge contact cement to glue it into place. And then once it was in there for good. It's not coming out. And voila, I've got a really...
All right. That it's not amazing, but it'll do.
Go ahead and glue it in. For this particular one, I used barge contact cement to glue it into place. And then once it was in there for good. It's not coming out. And voila, I've got a really...
You just stop saying voila, too. All right. Make sure we got everything tidied up over there. Cool. We are near the end here. Thank you guys for sticking through all of this.
Go ahead.
All right.
Foam armor. And there.
Cool. What other? I had another clip over here. Oh, I never even talked about that. Oh well. Yeah, we'll do that in another video. Oops. Oh, that's why you don't do transitions, because those get unlinked. Link. There we go.
Armor. And there you go, guys. A whole bunch more foam armor and costume making tips for your arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
because I've been watching Arrow, and they call Roy Arsenal now. That's probably why I said that.
Thank you guys so much for watching these
That must be the end.
videos. Again, like I said, we've got a bunch.
So this is the last kind of neat little part. I need to add this. I recently just made a thing. I gotta go find it. In my stock video folder, I have my end slate. There it is. This is a Photoshop file that I made, and I'm gonna plop it in there. End slate, and I drop it right there. And it's just it's an image with the background knocked out. And this lasts the entirety of the rest of the video, where I have like my store thing, and I need to remember to use that to link to that. And my subscribe button and all of those things get annotations added later on, along with these gray areas. That's where I plop some video.
These videos. Again, like I said, we've got a bunch more foam tips for you and a handful of other videos right over here. If you're new to the channel, of course, subscribe, and you can catch all of these whenever they come out.
Let's see here. Burp. There we go.
They come out. And if you're looking for a whole bunch more foam armor making tips and tutorials, I've got a book out. It's called the Foamsmith Book, and it's available in both ebook and print version at punishprops.com. And I'm working on another one. And I'm working on another one. That's right, Foamsmith 2.
Yay, Foamsmith 2. Bringing it home.
It's going to be out pretty soon here, and it's going to be all about making foam weapons. All of your sci-fi and fantasy sweet freaking foam weapons. So stay tuned for that. Get out there and make stuff, you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
And that's the end of it.
For that.
Cut out a little bit of dead air. Like that. And that's the end. Let's see. I make the end slate last all the way. So while I'm talking, those chill out there. I need to put the videos on them. And I already have 2 of them. So I'm going to grab these 2 guys I added earlier, hold down Alt, and drag them there. And also extend them and extend that one there. Oops. I should zoom in like this. So that these little videos are playing. I just need to reposition them using the effect controls. Let's see. And they need to be a little smaller. I think it's like 22%. Like that. And like that. And then grab the other one. You get 22% scale. Move it over. And move it up. And back over a little bit. And then I needed a third one. See, since I have this sort of like default end slate that I use, it forces me to always link to 3 videos. So let's see, props. Which video do I want to do? I saw AC3 Tomahawk. Let's do that one. Dump that in there. And grab a tiny portion of that. Drag that in here. Make it last the whole time. Then all I have to do is scale it down to probably like, this is going to be smaller. It's only 720, so it's a little bit different. Let's scale it up a little bit like that, and then move it over, and then move it down. So now I have this nice looking end slate with videos playing.
For your arsenal. Thank you guys so much.
Ta-da! And then usually I'll do like a dip to black on the end. Let's see here. Go to effects, go to dip to black. So that the video, zoom in a little bit. So that the video fades out.
Thanks for hanging out.
And I can add that to everything so that everything fades out. Dip to black. Dip to black, and dip to black.
Guys, thanks for hanging out.
Boop. Oops. I accidentally went all the way to the beginning. All right, let's save. And I also want to add, holding down command, add a couple of things here so that the audio fades out.
Stuff, you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
And that's the whole edit. I'm going to add music to this real fast just so that I have something playing in the background. And for that, I like to use stock music. You want to use royalty-free music for YouTube. In fact, YouTube provides stock audio for their creators. So I've got some, and let's see here. YouTube assets. I grabbed a couple. And let's see, how do I feel about this one? I think I used that for the last one. Let's check this out. I like that one. It's really short though, but I can loop it. So what I do is, this will be fun for you guys to watch. I think it's fun. Path to follow. I drag the whole thing in and oops. Like that, and do this, and then zoom in so I can work on that. Oops.
Hey everybody, welcome to the...
And I want that to come in. Let's move that out of the way. And then I can overlap the audio a little bit.
Hey everybody, welcome.
And this, oh, this, I forgot. This is usually a little loud. I want to turn that down. All right. And then this guy, I'm going to have fade in a tiny bit like that and move it over a tiny bit. Oops. Zoom in. There we go.
Hey everybody, welcome.
And then the background audio is usually way too loud, so I have this. I have this fade in, but then it'll fade into like that.
Welcome to the prop shop again.
It's a little quiet. Turn it up just a bit.
Again, I'm Bill, prop maker.
Oops, what have I done? Why did I make that so gigantic? There we go.
Costume maker, your guide to making things out of each.
All right, so this audio needs to be looped over and over again. And it does fade out, which is kind of nice. So what I'll do is trim that and then hold down Alt and drag it. And oops, and it didn't work. Hold down Alt, drag, let go, and then butt it up to that one.
Blades for those knives. Or what I like to do is use a sharpener.
Those can overlap just a tiny bit more, like that.
Blades for those knives. Or what I like to do.
Actually, zoom in and trim that a little bit more, and then maybe fade this a bit more.
Those knives. Or what I like.
There we go. So I need to do that to this side. And now I can just zoom out. There we go. And copy that audio over and over again. Holding down Alt. Hold down Alt. That's a lot. This is a longer video than normal. It's about 7.5 minutes long, but I covered a lot. Perfect. And then it's going to fade out at the end. So I zoom in there, trim this down like that, and go like that. Oops. Add a thing and fade out.
Weapons. So stay tuned.
Cool. All right. So now I kind of scrub the whole thing and see how I like that audio. Oops.
Hey, I like to always start at a corner and cut away from it. That way I can push the tip of
That'll work.
it. Little design element on your piece. I did something really sick.
Cool. Well, that is the whole thing. I will go back and I'll watch this whole thing. I'm not going to make you guys sit through that, but I watched the whole thing to make sure everything kind of makes sense. I don't have any blank frames where there's just blackness or any weird audio hiccups. Here, I'll just point at my face. There we go. Oh, real quick question from Kumo again. Let's see here. When will Foamsmith 2 be released? Foamsmith 2 Revenge. In the next month or two, probably. We wanted to be able to get it out for the holidays, but that's looking unlikely. So probably sometime in January 2016. Look forward to that. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's the whole editing process. It's basically done. For exporting, once I like it, I'm not sure if this is if it'll show up. If I go to File, Export, Media. Well, can I? Yeah, I'm wondering if I can share that window there. Screen share. There. So to File, Export, Media. I usually do H.264 for the format, and then I output the file name to whatever it is, bevels/export or bevels export, whatever. 1920 by 1080. I don't really put a lot of thought into my exporting. In fact, there are some presets for YouTube that you can use if that's what you're going to do. But that's it. I just export the file. I got a big old thing that I upload to YouTube. So that's basically the gist of it there. Nothing too fancy. Cancel. Burp. So that's it, guys. Thank you for folks who hung out live while we were doing this. The episode, of course, once it's live, I'll link in this description. But it'll be out in a couple of days. So look forward to that. Other than that, folks, I'm Bill Duran over here at Punish Props. And thanks for hanging out with me. Learned a little bit about video editing already. So long, folks.